Well, welcome to Digital Marketing Update from On Demand Advertising Solutions. John Verlin here. Today I want to talk about customer feedback and why this is so important, not just for knowing your customer, but how to use that feedback to help market yourself and your small business and help it grow. Now, if you were to think about Amazon.com, for example, and when you buy something and they have you rate it, 1 of 5 stars or whatever, and that sort of thing. And then suddenly you see some recommendations show up on your page based on what your past purchases have been, or even with Netflix, based on what you've watched in the past, we thought you might be interested in these. They're using data, they're getting inside your head based on what your interest levels are of products and experiences. And that's kind of what I want to talk about, how to do that for small businesses. They've got the big analytics and algorithms and whatever working for them to glean this data from customers, and it's critical. This is the golden calf, basically, of any kind of small business, to get to know what's in your customer's head, and that's true of any business. I think about Coca-Cola when they changed their original formula after 100 years, and they had customers fight back, about it, and sales went down, and that's an extreme example of what can happen if we don't guess right about what our customers want. But there's other ways to use this data to help market your business, and that's what I want to talk about today. First of all, customer feedback. Number of ways to get it. I'm going to go through this, and then I'm going to explain why I think it's really important on how you can use this. A number of ways to collect it. Obviously, if you have a retail establishment, you can talk to your customer when they come in to buy. Just kind of curious, why'd you come in, what you like about us, you just purchased this, such and such. Are there any other types of products you'd like to see us carry? Quick little 5 questions on the way out the door kind of thing, rough sampling. And again, that's what we're trying to do, is sample a percentage of your customers to find out some answers. And you may only get one big idea or one main thing that makes a difference. Now, when you do this, however you do this, as we go over this, of course, you're opening the door for criticism, and customers will definitely take advantage of that. They may actually ignore your request and just start going into what they don't like about something. Well, that's information too. What's important to them and what they're not liking is pretty much as important as what they do like, to make corrections along the way to make sure you're keeping customers happy. But some different ways to obviously collect this, not only talk to them directly as they walk in, you can do a customer, if you have a database, send out an email requesting quick answers for a few key questions, or even maybe just one main question. What's the one thing about our business you want to know most about? Or our product, or whatever. And if you send out 500 of those, you may get 100 back, you may get 50, you may get some smart aleck answers, but that's okay. We're looking for a pattern here of specific answers of what's important to them to try to get in their head, or what they either like or don't like, as far as a pattern. We want to see that because we want to answer that for future. And it will also help us give direction of new products or new services we might consider offering. A bank I worked for at one time had a lot of people saying, okay, I love your checking, but when are you going to do payroll services? And that came up a lot. So guess what? Well, they're starting to think about offering payroll services. It was all gleaned from people's feedback in calling in, or in chat, or in emails they got. So, but anyway, customer email you can send out. You can do a customer survey. This is what we do for a lot of our clients. We customize a survey. We collect those from their database of customers, and then we're able to glean from that specific answers to those questions that eventually may make it onto the fact page on the website. Here's facts about us, or here's most asked questions about our business, that these answers can be inserted into that page to expand that at a future date. You can also, obviously, any kind of personalization. Maybe it's if you want to do a postcard, direct mailing, or you do a personal email, obviously that's great too. The surveys are great. Again, you're going to get a % back. You're going to get a % that's going to answer you seriously, and others may not. And we're really trying to inquire about their attitudes, anything that's critical in their experience with you, and maybe their habits, past and future. And this is what I try to do with my clients, is put together a survey, questionnaire, whatever, that are going to measure some of these things in a roundabout way so we can glean from this. Using social media, we call it social listening, to be able to find out anybody responding, and a lot of small businesses may not have a social media program, but this is another reason why that can be helpful, is because you'll get feedback through social media. I can't get into my account. When are you open? And they're going to, you want to respond to that quickly. You want to respond to any comments, whether it's through email or social media or on your website or chat or calls, quickly, because that's a perception, and they will either assume you care or you don't care. That's a critical thing, is that feedback and how quick you can get it to them. Another way to do this, too, is kind of interesting, is when you set up your website, you can add comment boxes at the bottom of each page. If you have any comments, questions, please put it here. And anything from the website, you can monitor when people go on if they have questions or comments. And again, you can glean from that. Now, why is all this important? Well, in a nutshell, and I'll continue this in another podcast to go a little deeper, but basically we want to find the most common questions people have about your business, what's important to them, and then we're going to use their questions and answer those as content for your blog. And we're going to do it through podcasting, like I'm doing now, through perhaps a cartoon video or a video. And we're going to post that content for each of those questions on separate blog posts, which we then will be able to promote through our social media channels such as Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, whatever it is you're going to use, whatever platform you want to target. So this is why this is important. It's not just getting good feedback for future products and service offerings and helping customers have a better experience. It's to use that as bullet pain points to answer to help promote and market your business. Because when people go to your blog and they see 5 great ways that you can use this service we have or product, and this is gleaned from your research from your customer database, wow, that's going to get their attention, hit their hot button. And that's what this is about. It's turning that around and using that as content in answering that question or those questions. And you may end up, we've created these kind of blog posts for, maybe 50 questions, 100 questions for different clients and answering their customers. And they're pain bullets and hot buttons that will gain other people who may have the same questions that are visiting your site, may find really valuable to them. So that's customer feedback and why it's important not only in experiencing for your customer, your website, your product, your service, but also utilizing that as content to help promote on the social media or any other medium that's deemed suitable. So next time we're going to talk a little bit more about this, and we're going to talk about other ways we can help promote this and why this content is so important in search engine rankings, analytics rankings, things like that, that will help build your presence, your credibility, and your marketing platform. And that ties to your perception, particularly in your local market as well as beyond. John Verlin here. Questions? Email me, jverlin1@yahoo.com. Visit website ondemandadvertisingsolutions.com. I got a comment form for questions, and my email's there and phone number. Have a great week, and I will talk to you next time.